Hey everyone, my name's David. I am the music teacher who blogs at makemomentsmatter.org. You can also find me on Facebook and Pinterest and Twitter and Instagram and like everywhere. And I also have a podcast, which is Make Moments Matter, a music education podcast. I just wanted to spend a little time sharing with you about how I use Spotify at Field Day and a couple ideas about how to use it in the classroom. I love using Spotify. I think it's really, really effective and a great tool to use in the classroom. So I just wanted to share just a couple ideas about how I use Spotify because you might also use Spotify or might be able to use it a little bit better. If you're not familiar, Spotify is a streaming music service, sort of like Pandora, if you're familiar with that, or Apple Music. Spotify, I believe, is owned by Facebook, and so they have some sort of little tricks and things that are a little bit interesting for them that I wanted to share with you. And anyway, I'm going to show you how I use it for a field day now, and I'm going to switch it. This is day 4 of field day, and I've had to be the DJ for the last 4 days. So I've been using Spotify a lot. So let me see if I can show you just a couple things here. Oh, this is so great. You cannot see this at all. Let me see if I can show you. Oh, no, I can't show you. Okay, so here I'm going to try and zoom in and do this old-fashioned. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, so here's Spotify. I'm showing you on my iPad. Let me see if I can turn this and get a little better view. Okay, so here's Spotify on my iPad. That's a little bit better, I guess. No, I can't do that. Sorry, guys. I have not had this trouble before. Okay, so here's my Spotify app, and you can do a couple things with Spotify. You can have a regular Spotify account, or you can have a Spotify Premium account. I have a Spotify Premium account because I use it a lot in the classroom. I think it's $9.99 a month or something. I think it's totally worth it, but that means no commercials. I love that. And I think it gives you a few more flexible things that you're able to do. So the cool thing, you can search music by playlist, you can create your own station, you can look for songs, albums, or artists. So one thing you could do is you could create your own playlist, and you could have something that you use and you show to use for your classes. One of the things I love is that my friend Katie Wonderly, who is herself wonderful, let's see if I can pull up her account. Oh, it doesn't want to let me right now, but her account, if you look at Katie Wonderly, she has these great playlists. This one is Elementary Assembly Jams. We'll see if it's, oh yeah, it's because I'm offline. Let me see if I can go back online and fix that. Sorry. She has all these playlists that she has curated for use in elementary schools, and she's gone through and checked out lyrics, and she's gone through to see if things are appropriate, and that has saved me a ton of time. Let's see if it'll show her now. Maybe. It's thinking. Anyway, she's got all these great playlists. Of course, it doesn't want to show them to you, so that's awesome. But I'm going to let you go look at them. The ones that I have downloaded on my iPad are Elementary Assembly Jams, Elementary Halloween Hits, Elementary Track Meet Tunes, Elementary Dance Jams. She has probably 9 or 10 different ones that you could use. And in each playlist are a bunch of songs that are appropriate for school, that are the lyrics are okay, or she's got the Kids Bop version of things. Huge time saver, and I love it. So I've got a couple of those sort of favorited, and also our theme this year is Alice in Wonderland, so I have the Alice in Wonderland scores and some other things that I've been using for listening examples here in my recently played. So how do I use it for field day? Well, if you go to settings, which is right here in the top right corner, here are the things that I've done. If you go to playback, under playback, you've got a bunch of options. Well, the one thing that I like to do, because we're out on the field, really on the track, and we don't have access to internet. So what I do is I end up using this thing, which is offline playback, which means you can only use the things you've downloaded. So like if I'm here at school and I know that I want Elementary Assembly Jams, I can go into that, and right here under downloaded, if I click over here on the right and I click it on, it will download all of the songs in that playlist, which means that when I go out and I lose Wi-Fi, they'll all be on my iPad. Now, do I get to keep them forever? Do I download the song and keep it? No. But it's able for me to use later, which is great when I don't have Wi-Fi. So I've got these different playlists ready to go. And so like when I go outside, I can use them, and I have a Bluetooth speaker, and it works really well. It connects with my sound system. So under Playback, that's what I do when I'm outside. I just hit offline. It doesn't try and use data. If you're using this on your phone, this is great because then you'll have all those things downloaded, and that's just songs that you're going to use, so it's not going to mess up your Wi-Fi or your data. The other thing I like to do, since I'm the DJ or whatever, to feel really professional, is I take this Crossfade, and originally it was set to off, and I set it to like, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, so that when you have two songs next to each other, it will fade them together, so you sound like there are no gaps in between, no dead time. It fades them in, which is really nice, and makes the kids feel like it's a little bit more professional. Makes me feel better too. The other thing I have here on the bottom is equalizer, and that's so that you don't have one song that's really, really loud and one song that's really, really quiet. It equalizes them so that they're sort of the same, which is really, really nice. Okay, so let's go back to like elementary assembly jams. So let's say I'm ready to go and I hit, I don't know, Justin Timberlake. Okay, well, I'm gonna turn this way down so you doesn't hear the sound, so it's sort of down. But let's say that I wanna see what's playing next. Okay, well, this is what's playing currently. What's playing next? Well, if I go into my list, it'll oh, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. If I go into my list, it'll show me what Mrs. Wonderly has next, which is Try Everything by Shakira. But if I wanted to shuffle play, it would just go to something random. So one of the cool things I realized or remembered today, up here in the top right is this little button, and that shows you what's sort of next. And this is your cue. So if I wanted, I said, after Hair Up from Trolls, which the kids love, I want to mix it up and I want to do We Are Family. Well, then I press that, and down here in the bottom it says either remove or it says add to queue. Well, I'm going to add it to queue. So now I go back to the top, what's next in the queue? We Are Family. So then I know that the next song that's up is going to be We Are Family, and that's going to play. So when Hair Up ends, it'll just go automatically to the next one. If I wanted to do Can't Stop the Feeling, I would do the same thing. I'd click that button, I hit add to queue, and it'd be there. The other thing is, once you have a couple things in your queue, over here on the right, you can do this, which toggles them. You can change the order, sort of cool. If you're like, I want something from one of my other playlists, not just from elementary assembly jams. Okay, well then I'm gonna click out. I'm gonna go down here, it goes to your music. I'm offline, so I can only access the things that I have downloaded. You could tell the things with little green dots there. Well, I wanna go to Halloween hits, and I want Thriller to be next. Okay, so over here on this side, way on this other side, there's Thriller way on the left. Here's this little dots thing. If you click these little dots and then hit add to queue, it's added, yay. Let's go back and check. So we click down here, this is what's currently playing, and there it is in the queue. So that's sort of cool. It just lets me know like what's next, because shuffle's great, but if it's like, oh man, we've had a lot of oldies, I want to switch over to something that's a little bit more current, you can go do that. Or if you're like, I know we're about to transition and I want this song, you can do that too. So those are some sort of cool things that you can do with Spotify. I really want to give a shout out to Mrs. Wonderly, to Katie Wonderly, because her playlists are really, really wonderful and have saved me like a huge amount of time. They're downloaded right now. You can tell because the little button's on. They're downloaded right now to my iPad, but after I think 30 days, they go away. Or you can take them off if you want to undownload them. But for me, for this week, I wanted them all available on here so that I can use them for field day. One of the other cool things, if you pull up Spotify on your computer, I use this a lot for class. And one of the things that really frustrated me with my tech department was, let me see if I can put this back in this little tripod. Sorry, technical issues today on the live feed. One of the things that really frustrated me about my tech department was I had this awesome iPad, and I had my computer, but my computer was docked in, over on my desk and would play through my classroom speakers. And I wanted to be able to control what was going through my speakers with my phone or with my iPad. And it's so crazy because all of our tablets and other things are on one wireless network, and our computers are on a different wireless network, and they are not allowed to be on the same network. So if you know where I'm going with this, I use iTunes a lot, and there's a remote app for your phone or your iPad where you can control what happens on iTunes here. Well, they have to be on the same wireless network. So if my phone is on wireless network 1 and my computer is on wireless network 2, I can't use my phone app to control iTunes here, which is a pain. But surprise, if I go in here, let me see if this will work, if it will play nice right now. Okay, so now my computer is playing Thriller. Let's say that that's what I want to have it do. If I go to my Spotify app, we'll see if tech is going to be nice for us right now.
Brent Harrison, if you're available, could you please come to the front office? Brent Harrison.
Sorry, school's out, but there's still still people in the building. Sorry for that announcement. Okay, let's see if my my app here will play nice. So if I open Spotify here on my iPad, it's thinking. Usually what it'll do is it'll pop up. My phone would do this, but I'm using my phone to record. See in the reflection. What it would do is it would pop up and say, you're currently listening on computer. Would you like to continue listening there? And you can use your phone through your wireless network, doesn't matter what network it's on, to control your computer, your desktop, which is, I don't know how it does that. It works through Wi-Fi, it works through the internet. It's a little bit slower than if it were working through the app, like iTunes would, but it works. So I pull up playlists here. I have playlists ready to go. I can control it from my phone or my iPad, which is sort of magical. You can even do this thing called local files. So if you have music that's on your computer, Spotify will play it. You can't play it from your phone. You can only play it on this device because it's local to this device. But if you have a song here that's specific that you wanted to use for a concert or something, you could control it with the Spotify app, which is sort of cool and sort of crazy. These are just a couple ideas for Spotify. I'm still learning how I can use it even better. And it's not perfect. Spotify is a great workaround. It works really well for me for my classroom. Like I said, I use it for playlists for school every day. I use it out on field day. There are a lot of cool things you can do with it. I'm gonna leave this video on my page, so if you have any tricks that you use Spotify for or you really like about Spotify, please leave them in the comments, and I'd love to learn from you. Or if you're like, hey, Spotify doesn't work for me for this reason, we can troubleshoot together. I think Spotify is great. I know not all of these options are available if you're just a regular member, but premium members, it's worth it for me. You can maybe sometimes get your school to pay for it. I'm not sure. But all these things have been really, really helpful for me. Like I said, if you're the DJ for your school dance or end of year or whatever, or assembly, pull up Katie Wonderly's playlists because they're totally worth it. You can find her on Spotify if you search Katie Wonderly. Let's see if my computer, let me do it. My iPad didn't because, I don't know, filters or whatever. Let's see if we can pull her up here. There she is, Katie Wonderly. If you search Katie Wonderly, K-A-T-I-E Wonderly, you can pull up her profile. And then what I do is I scroll down to public playlists. And here, if we look, you see she's got elementary track meet, elementary dance jams, elementary assembly jams, elementary simmer down, girl power, Halloween, holiday. I mean, she's got everything. And it's amazing. Super great. She's gone through, she's looked at all the lyrics and everything and has done all that work for you. Totally worth it. I hope this has been helpful. Like I said, if you have any ideas or comments or anything, leave them in the comments section. I would love to interact with those later or troubleshoot. Thanks for taking a minute to watch and to see how I use Spotify. Have a nice night.